And so one thing that's really interesting, and I think paradoxical a little bit about backable leaders, great leaders, is that they tend to do what I call rhythmic recovery. Rhythmic recovery, meaning they don't wait for vacations or weekends to recover. They're taking mini breaks every single day. In fact, when we look at elite athletes and elite performers, what we find is that they take somewhere around 8 focused, deliberate breaks every single day. 8 breaks, which I know sounds crazy, right? Especially given the world that we live in. I mean, the other day I was talking to somebody and they're like, look, I think I need a catheter installed at my desk because I don't have time to go to the bathroom. That's the world that we're living in right now. And it's interesting, right? Because for those of us who are working in person, who are working in offices and are now working from home, one of the things that we sometimes miss is that when we were in person, we actually had rhythmic recoveries built into our schedule. Even if it was getting up from our desk and walking to a conference room, or having a pop-in from an employee or a teammate. Right? These were focused little breaks that we had built into our day. Now we don't have those as much anymore. It's literally clicking on one link and then clicking on the next link and popping up another video session. And so when you go back to back to back like that, what happens is we become like this. We cut off our own energy supply. So one of the ways that you can bring this idea of rhythmic recovery into your life is through what I call the 55-5 model. The 55-5 model. Pretty simple, actually. For every 55 minutes of work, you have 5 minutes of rest. 55 minutes of work, you have 5 minutes of rest. And it's really magnificent what a 5-minute break can do. Now, I've got to tell you this story. I'm shooting a show right now with American Express. And so I was filming in Los Angeles. And the other day, I get picked up by a driver, and I get into the car, and I can realize immediately that this driver is really stressed out. You can just tell. He had been fighting LA traffic, big guy, really angry, and we get on the road, and now we're driving from the hotel to the film set, and I could just see that on the ride there, his stress is going up and up and up, and his anger is going up and up and up, and he's gripping the steering wheel really tight. He's banging on it at times. He's yelling at other drivers, and I feel like he is about to lose it, right? We pull into the film set, and now not only is he fried, but I'm fried. You spend 20 minutes in the vehicle with somebody like that, you're gonna feel stressed out, right? But the problem was I had to get up on set now, and I had to get in front of camera, and I needed to be someone that I didn't feel like, and I didn't know what to do. So years ago, I invested in a company called Calm, which is a meditation app. And I said to myself, look, before I get into that set, I want to just take 5 minutes and just breathe with this app. I just need to do that, right? But I decided to go out on a limb, and I said to the driver, hey, before I get out of the car, I would like to take 5 minutes and just meditate. Would you like to meditate with me? And this guy, he looks at me in the rearview mirror, and he glares at me, and I think to myself, oh boy, I've pushed him way over the edge. I can see the tattoo on it coming up above his neckline, and he's sort of staring at me, and then all of a sudden he says, okay, I'll meditate with you. Great. So I pull out my phone, I queue up a 5-minute meditation, and we sit there in the car together, and we just meditate. Right there in the middle of that film lot, we just meditate. 5 minutes comes and goes. I get out of the vehicle, but so does he. And by the time I'm out of the car, he has literally come around and engulfed me. Big bear hug. Pulls me in. And while I'm being held in his arms, he says to me, thank you. Thank you. I really needed that. And look at him, and his entire energy was completely different. It was completely different. He had completely changed. And by the way, so had I. 5 minutes. Earlier on that day, we didn't even know each other's name. Now he's holding me on a film set. That's the power of a 5-minute break. And if that can happen in 5 minutes, Imagine what would happen for you if you took multiple of those 5-minute recoveries every single day. What I find is when I work with my clients and the teams that I work with, what they often tell me is that if they can stick to that schedule and take 8 of those mini focused breaks every single day, for the first time ever, they are starting to feel as much energy or even more energy at the end of the day than they felt at the beginning of the day. How amazing would that be? So what are you doing during these 5-minute breaks? So I actually had a chance to talk to some of you about this. What do we do? And I asked people, how do you reset yourself? And some of the answers that I heard is I do push-ups, I do jumping jacks, calisthenics. A lot of you have pets, so you like to just play with your pet. Take a quick walk is always a popular one. Sometimes just laying down doing nothing, right? Or just breathing like we just talked about. We take 23,000 breaths every single day, and yet the vast majority of those breaths are incredibly shallow, right? But just taking 5 minutes to breathe into your diaphragm will energetically reset you. It will slow down the aging process. It will improve circulation. It's amazing what it can do.